Abraham, in August of this year, I had what doctors called an episode of psychosis
Yeah?
that landed me in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Yes?
Before this episode, my mind was clear. I was hearing the voices of my source energy, and I was very aligned with my inner being,
Yeah?
very consistently.
Yes.
How do I get back this clear, powerful self?
Just
that
by
was me?
remembering it and knowing that it will return. By focusing on that part rather than another part that was less pleasant.
Yes.
It's who you naturally are. So it's natural for that to return.
I've been trying to get into alignment every single day by doing your meditations, by trying to go into my vortex.
Yeah.
But I feel it's like I'm up against a certain blockade.
What's
There's
happening
something-
is you are, in your sensitivity, you're feeling your own resistance. But that's all right. Your resistance is not your enemy. Don't make it your enemy, because that's what sort of causes a stronger struggle. But instead, compliment yourself on your sensitivity to it that you are feeling. Yeah?
Yes, yes. I'm currently on medication that my physicians have given me for my psychosis.
That's all right. We don't find you unclear. Do you feel unclear?
Sometimes I feel the resistance in me welling up in my head, and it's like I can't think, or I can't get into my receptive mode.
Do you associate that with the medication?
Yes, yes.
Here's the thing. Do you believe that the medication is helpful? We do. You don't have to believe the same thing that we do, but do you believe that it is helpful?
Yes, I believe it's helpful.
So remember earlier, we know that you will recall it as we say it. If you are taking the medicine because you believe it is helpful, but you are railing against it in some way, you're causing resistance, which doesn't allow you to have what you want. So what we're saying is, take the medicine and line up with it, or don't take it and line up with it, but don't take it and not line up with it, and don't not take it and not line up with it. So we think it's a good thing. We think it's a good thing. We want you to just relax into it. And in time, we are certain that your physicians will say to you, no longer necessary in time. But in the meantime, appreciate it for the balance that it gives you.
Okay.
And line up with it, yeah?
Okay, yes.
Yeah?
Yes, yes. You've also said that following my impulses is a way of staying aligned with my inner being.
Well, we want to say it better than you just said it.
Okay.
The way we want to say it is, when you are aligned, then follow your impulses. We're not saying follow your impulses to get aligned, because you might have impulses that take you further into not alignment.
Yes.
So what we're saying is, get aligned, which means get feeling good. Begin having fun, or feeling interested about something, or feeling happy about something, and then follow the impulse.
And then follow the impulse.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I get impulses sometimes to incessantly say hi to people on the street, or if there's a conversation going on somewhere and people are speaking, I want to know exactly what it is they're saying. It's like, I've got to know. I've got to know.
We want you to know something about this. This is not because there is something wrong with you. This is because you are tapping into that broader perspective of eagerness about life. And when you feel eager about life, you're sort of wanting to express your eagerness in some ways, you see. And so the only thing that's a problem is that other people don't do it so much, and they don't understand it when somebody else does. They accept it with little children who are still pure in their connection, or in untrained dogs that are pure in their connection. But they don't accept it in people that are supposed to know better than to be so happy you want to talk to people. Yeah.
I also have some spiritual mentors who have told me that chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is the rhythm of the universe, and that this will bring me benefit. And I want to ask you, Abraham, is that true?
The reason that we can see the benefit to you, or to anyone, is because when you find a symbol, even a verbal symbol, that has no attachment or previous meaning to it. Let's say that when you were young, your dog got run over right before your eyes. and you saw it happen and it was traumatic, we don't think that a mantra that says puppy doggy, puppy doggy, puppy doggy, puppy doggy, lovely little puppy doggy, would be a good mantra for you. We think that it would remind you of something you want to forget. We don't think a mantra that says God, 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 or wealthy, 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 wealthy. In other words, there are some things that are in your mass consciousness that trigger disconnection more than they trigger connection. And so to pick something that doesn't have any meaning to you, it's almost like meditation. That's why drums are so good. In the beating of a drum, there's not usually a message.
Okay. So chanting it is good for me, and I will continue.
We think it would be good
chanting
for everyone because it's a focus on something that doesn't activate a resistant vibration. It's why we teach focusing on your breathing, or watching the flicker of a flame while you meditate, or listening to the noise of the air conditioner. Something that doesn't have any attachment, negative attachment, is a good thing for you to focus upon. It's a good way to clear your mind. Yeah.
And I have another question about my job, Abraham. I was approached by a hedge fund in Toronto about a position with them, and I'm wondering, should I apply for this position or should I stay with my current job? Can you give me some clarity?
Did it feel to you like they're meeting you where you are? Are they meeting you where you want to be? In other words, do you think that you are consistently in the place that you want to be so that you can accurately evaluate where you're meeting someone?
Yes, I feel the...
Even with the medication, do you feel that your clarity is such that when someone meets you, that you can feel what the meeting feels like?
Yes, I feel like it's a sublime opportunity.
Then it is. Then it is.
And it is.
Then it is, and no further discussion is necessary.
Okay. And others have discouraged me from applying for it because they say it would cause me stress, which would lead to psychosis. They're saying that my condition would...
Well, what do you say about that? You're meeting this, and you used a word that most people don't use, and it may be our favorite word in the whole world, sublime.
Sublime.
And does it feel sublime when people tell you that you're probably going to get into big trouble and stress? Does that feel sublime?
No, it doesn't feel sublime.
Yeah.
It feels like it enhances what's down there, which is not what I want.
So what do you know about yourself? In other words, what's so terrible about getting out of balance? You just get back into balance.
Yes.
Yeah. And do you believe that you have the capacity to get back into balance?
Yes, I do.
And do you believe that you have the capacity to perform and co-create with these people that have offered you this?
Yes.
And do you think that they're wise in choosing you, or do you think they're stupid in choosing you?
I think they're wise in choosing
We think
me.
so too.
Yes.
We think so too. And so if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would follow the sublime.
I want to just milk all of this time I have in the hot seat with you.
We just have something important to say to you.
Yeah.
You know when you meet people on the street and you want to go up to them and say hi?
Yes.
Just don't tell them all of this. They're not ready. But you are.
I'm ready.
Enough?
Ready. I'm fearful that when I get off the stage, I'll regret not asking you a certain question about things like, what's in my vortex?
We'll tell you really good stuff, things that are going to surprise and delight you.
Yeah.
And things that you'll recognize as you realize them. In other words, a lifetime of wonderful things. That's what's there.
And they'll manifest?
Yes.
They will?
Yes.
And another thing is, recently I've been giving some thought to what it would be like to be non-physical, to have a croaking experience. Am I ready for that? Or is there more for me in this lifetime?
When someone says to us that something in this physical realm excites them and incites them to the point that they call it sublime, we say there's a whole lot more right here for you to experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Enough?
I want to say I love you very much. I've been following your teachings for such a long time, And being in this hot seat is just absolutely sublime. it's completely satisfying, and I've never felt this way before. And I want to feel this way all of the days that I live. When I get up out of bed, this is how I want to feel about my days, and this is how I want to always feel about my life.
It's a perfect touchstone, and you will never forget it. You won't always feel this way, but because you have felt this way, you always now will have the ability to get back to that.
Yes. Yes.